after recording the clips of this episode to our epic series, I felt like I'm a lot closer to this hardcore world. I've been spending a lot of time grinding without getting myself to death. And if you have seen the last episode, you know I got a full maxed up set of diamond armor and tools. But now my goal is to beat the Ender Dragon and get an elytra, then try to build every single essential farm needed in Minecraft Core. So it's time to get ready for this entirely new adventure. So I found myself in the village where I immediately decided to leave the village to start the episode. So it took me a while to go back to my Minecraft home. Oh, okay, it feels weird that this is my home. I haven't built a base here, so until I build a base, this is going to be my base of operation. After that, I decided to go back to the nether and now settle towards a new goal. Getting to the end, which requires ender eyes, which so we can craft with blaze rods and ender pearls. So we need to find a nether fortress. So I spent a lot of time in the nether for trying to find a nether fortress. I didn't have any luck finding a nether fortress, but I managed to find a warp forth, which is crucial for the ender pearls. So I managed to get myself a lot of ender pearls using the endermen spawning there. But even after getting a lot of pearls, I haven't found a nether fortress yet. But luckily, I figured out a method using pyrite. We need to find a spawner entity. So I followed the direction. When the spawner entity percentage increases, then I luckily found the fortress. Soon enough, I went to the fortress to kill plenty of blaze that they dropped, enough blaze rods for ender eyes and sometimes even potions. Hey, you never know, these could be important. Then I went back to the nether portal, which was easier because I knew where a portal was. Not that I have enough materials for the basic stuff, I kinda do still want to get the other important stuff needed for this ender dragon. I got other resources by starting a raid 4 totems so I won't die just because I did something stupid. Then I got myself mending for an elytra, then got sowing falling potions to decrease fall damage. Then I got fireworks and went to the gold farm and enchant my book. I'm breaking through top max on my elytra and now I think I'm ready. So I inspected everything in my inventory, then threw my first eye and started my journey to the Ender Dragon. After eye by eye crossing biomes and treacherous locations until I found the eye going down, acknowledging that this is the stronghold location. Then I went down to the stronghold, got plenty of armor trims and stuff from the library, even though I don't think will be important. I eventually found the end portal, and thus will be the dragon fight. Oh yes, no, I have beaten the Ender Dragon in Minecraft Core. Objective 1 is complete. I swear this game is so easy, but now it's time for XP and now for the end gateway because I need to get myself an elytra. After that, I managed to get myself into the end gateway and now in the island, trying to find an end city which will take a while. So I spent the next tens of minutes bridging through island by island until I managed to find evidence of an end city. It was also a pretty big one, so I tried to enter pearl to the islands and worked on navigation skills. But as I managed to reach the city, I realized it did have an elytra, so I immediately climbed up and used whatever I could to reach the power of aviation. Now all I got to do is put mending and unbreaking 3 in my elytra, and my friend, we have reached the sky. After that, it was time to vibe with my new elytra, and now I decided to go explore the end city more. Then I got more circle cells to help storage a lot more easier. Then I finally went back to the end gateway. Now I'm going back to the overworld. I did spawn in a village for some reason, but I felt what I was stuck in Minecraft Core for the first time. But actually, I went back to the gold farm for fun. I would like to welcome until
You've been seeming sus lately, sussy baka.
After getting to the funny level, I finally went back to the overworld and into my village. But finally, I am now going to start building the farms to help get resources a lot more easier for this hardcore world to function. But before getting materials and showing design, I'd like to make a challenge. If I get 10,000 subs, then I will eat vegetables for an entire week. No other foods. Yeah, actually, so if you'd like to touch me with nutrition, then you should probably subscribe. Wait, should I say that? First, I will try to make a raid farm where I can use totems, emeralds, and a lot of useful. The design is by Enix04. Thank you for the design, Enix04. You're an OG, so now it's time to get materials for this big farm. So I spent heaps of time getting materials from many biomes, even going to the swamp and ice biomes to get the required items for the raid farm. I eventually got them and set camp in the ocean. After that, I was finally constructing the raid farm. Here's the timeless of me getting the basics of the design. Now it was time to bring villagers in, which is an important component if you want to trigger a raid. So I flew to another village pretty far away, then transported a villager to the ocean, which required creating a pretty big control. But luckily I managed to get the villager to the ocean so I could freely boat him to the raid farm. When he reached the raid farm, I pushed him to the water cave and pushed him in a assigned villager chilling area. That's what I called it. But we need more than one villager, so I went back to the village and figured out I was dumb, and there was a village that was closer than my original village. So I borrowed those villagers that I happily sent them all to their assigned areas during the village process, and didn't torture them once. They are super happy.
Stop the cap.
After squatting my final villager, I started getting all the little parts from the tutorial done, and now I think the farm might be finished. Now it's time to get the bad omen effect, then trigger the raid and get the farm into motion. But for some reason, the raid farm is not triggering away for some reason. I tried to figure out what's going on, but there's still some sort of bug going on. Yeah, I don't think the raid farm is working, but I'll find a way to get it to work one day, and you can also give feedback on what may be wrong with the raid farm. I'll show parts of the raid farm in replay so you can see. But we need to start constructing the next farm, the gunpowder farm designed by Day 6. The gunpowder farm will give me plenty of fireworks, then I get to flying. So I grabbed a lot of materials like wood, buttons for platforms, and mounted a lot of minor items. Then I made things like the collection system, then the big platform leading to it. After that, I made a lot of spawning platforms where the creepers were spawning at. Then I made the roof, which all took a lot of buttons. After that, I got a roof out of trapdoors, which is honestly very painful because the creepers can explode here. I didn't get a lot of footage about the rest of the construction and the water placing in dispensers because I forgot to record it. But I managed to get that done, and by the looks of it, it seems to be working well. And after AFKing for a while, I seem to get a good amount of gunpowder. Even though the raid farm wasn't working very good, well, I'm going to need to work on that next episode. I enjoyed this episode, and the amount of progress still achieved in this amount of time. So I guess this may be it.